Now, we talked a little bit about reviews of this album. I of course, in preparing for this podcast, read a few reviews, and some of them were extremely positive. Some of them were a little less than. But one really stuck out in my mind, and I debated with myself whether or not to even bring attention to this review. But I figured, fuck it, I got something to say. I'ma fucking say it.
Yo, fuck this dude.
The Pitchfork review of this album, which was written by Ian Cohen, is fucking ruthless.
Put you on blast.
Now, he gives the album a 5.7, which I'll admit, at first I was just butthurt because one of my favorite albums got such a poor score.
Would you say, okay, so 5.7 out of 10? Not like 5.7 out of 6?
No, I mean, come on, he gave Rick Ross's album 5.8. Rick fucking Ross. Yeah, the Date Rape album.
So he just doesn't really like music.
He's
very picky.
He crosses a line because he's not just critiquing it musically. It seems like he's out to hurt the guy. He takes jabs at his health. Let's start this off. Let's actually look at a few highlights.
Some excerpts of it?
Yeah, let's look at some highlights of the review. Excerpt 1, or let's say Exhibit A. The title of Stefan Alexander's fourth LP as P.O.S. conveys a self-deprecation and sense of displacement that reminds me of the last time I saw him perform live. Ouch.
Ouch.
Unfortunately, due to recent health complications, it could be the last time I see him live for a while. All right, let me back up and explain. This is Nathan here again. P.O.S. needed a fucking kidney, okay? He was going to die if he didn't get one. He was
still performed?
Really sick. He still performed his hometown show, the first show of the tour, and he had to cancel and reschedule the rest of them. He was fucking sick, dude. Like, disgustingly sick.
So now, basically, you're just taking shots at a man that still performed while needing a kidney.
It could be the last time I see him live for a while. Wow. Wow, dude. Wow, that's low, dude. Like, really? Like, I hope you get fired the next time you call in sick, you fucking prick. So he goes on to criticize him about not doing Coachella, like not finishing it, because God forbid he wants to survive and stay alive for a couple more years to maybe make another album.
I just, to get on the inside, how dare you, sir? People came to see you specifically, and you backed out. Oh, you needed a kidney? Boo-hoo. Guess what? Well, you got another one.
According to Ian Cohen, they didn't come to see him specifically. This is what he had to say. He was quite literally the first person to perform that weekend, arriving to a sparsely filled tent of curious foreigners and confused onlookers who almost certainly assumed they were there to see P.O.D. Well, if they did assume they were there to see P.O.D., I would have to assume that that is the reason they were confused onlookers, because they were like, why the fuck did anybody book P.O.D. in 2013?
Yeah.
2012, whenever this was.
P.O.D.? Really?
And they were probably pleasantly surprised to see that the guy taking the stage actually knew how to rap.
Yeah, it was not a fake rap rocker. Hey, look, there's that metal rap crap.
And these must be the same people who pronounce it Pokemon, who don't know how to pronounce simple letters they learned in second grade.
Hey, Ian Cohen from Pitchfork, I want to see your P.O.D. review. I feel like Pitchfork, though, is kind of on the same level of, say, IGN for game reviews, where they kind of give better reviews to people that give them more money. I did not mean any of that.
We're not even done breaking this review open. You're on the spot. We put you on blast, as Craig said, Ian Cohen. Excerpt, what is this, 3?
Sure.
P.O.S. has some kind of awareness of the mainstream, but other than brief mentions of OWS and terribly forced name drops of Anonymous and Christopher Hitchens, you're left wondering about the last time he meaningfully engaged with it.
With the mainstream? Probably never.
Yeah, if you listen to the album, you're not left wondering at all. If you listen to the album, you can tell that to P.O.S., engaging with the mainstream is about as meaningful as engaging with a dead salmon.
Yeah, what?
I don't know. It was the first thing that, I don't know.
I was like all with you, and then I was like, sure. Why not? Yeah, he's like the anti-mainstream.
Seriously.
You're literally just creating hurdles that he cannot leap. Like, oh, so you want him now to be like the Macklemores out there? Honestly, like Macklemore's not even that bad as far as he's like good compared to mainstream.
He is mainstream.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
Like the examples of mainstream, he's probably one of the better ones out there.
But like terribly forced name drops. That's all hip hop is. Like, I think what P.O.S. is doing is almost like, okay, you know how in rap they name drop like Scarface and blah, blah, blah? Instead, I'm going to name drop the shit that matters to me. Stuff like Christopher Hitchens, an author I like to read, and Anonymous, a fucking movement that I support.
Right.
Terribly forced my ass up.
Just because he's not, name dropping the facts of life or some other
Facts of life. What do we got? Rappers talking about Tootie out there? What do you? What?
I'm just like, for some reason, all that could come to mind was 80s sitcoms. Great American Hero. Yeah, and a hell of a song to the theme.
Next excerpt. Do you mention Jay-Z's involvement in the 2012 election, or Kanye's benefit concerts, or Diddy's Vote or Die campaign, or that Young Jeezy made the definitive Barack Obama track? It hardly seems worth it, since P.O.S.'s reaction on Wanted Wasted is the following. Black president, hooray for history. That shit's still totally pretend. What's that shit, and how is it totally pretend? He leaves it at that. Okay, first of all, no, he doesn't leave it at that. That's like the fourth track, and he's got about like 7 more tracks that continue to explore the issue. And that's like the second verse, and he finishes out the verse. So no, he doesn't leave it at that.
I can tell you what he means by that right about now. He is anti-government.
Sorry, Craig, what is that shit?
That shit is he is anti-government. and
that shit is the entire fucking political environment. And it's totally pretend, because that's what it is. It's like, it's a pretend system that people get together and created and act out and enforce.
Well, it's not exactly, like, he's using his third eye here.
You don't have to agree with the statement, but to act like you don't understand what he was saying. And what?
Right.
How does that mean? So it hardly seems worth it. What? Because Young Jeezy supports Barack Obama. Because P.O.S. is a black man, he has to, like, he's an anarchist. Of course he's not going to be like, woohoo, I'm so happy about our president.
It seems like he's just angry because he's like, oh, a black man that doesn't support the black man in office, you're setting your people back. No, fuck you. He's being real. He doesn't agree with it. Doesn't he could be like the best president ever? He's like, no, you guys are still fucking just playing make believe out there.
For the record, P Diddy's Vote or Die campaign,
the worst thing ever. Seriously?
Hey you, pick one of these assholes to run your fucking country, or you don't deserve to live.
Oh, I don't care that you don't know anything about these two individuals that are going to be running your country possibly. No, just pick one. Just get out there and pick one. In fact, no, pick the one that my record producer says to pick.
Oh, you've got different ideas about how to run your life and how to approach global issues? Then you don't deserve to live.
There are people that actively oppose voting just because they're against the whole scheme of it, because they're like, well, it doesn't matter who gets in office. They're both going to fail to me. So, but in that aspect, sure, why don't you run for office yourself?
I see it as like the Alien versus Predator campaign would say,
pick one or die.
No, the tagline, that's what it's called. The tagline was, whoever wins, we lose.
Yeah.
So like every presidential election is like Alien versus Predator, and then in 4 years it's Frankenstein versus Wolfman, and then it's Godzilla versus King Kong, and then it's Freddy versus Jason. It's just, and then on and on and on.
I hate to get like, this is kind of like a downer view of politics in general, but regardless of who you think would go for your best interest, the person that's going to win is generally going to be the person with the deepest pockets / the person that has swayed the populace, the mainstream.
It's a career, and it's people trying to get forward in their career.
Yeah.
It's just like any other career.
Whether it's
That's why
Republican or Democrat. I mean, when was the last time a Green Party member won the fucking election?
Yeah. The people that care the most about the country aren't the people that become the president. The people that become the president, by sheer nature of the system,
are the ones
are
that
the people that care
best.
the most about their career.
Yes.
So, like, the most important thing to the people that reach that level in politics is their career, because that's why they get that far. And that's how careers work. So you just have to understand that. But regardless, so let's move on.
Honestly, I'm starting to feel like this Pitchfork guy is not that intelligent in himself. Like, he's trying to sound intelligent, but he just comes out as a jackass.
He's got a pitchfork and a snake tongue, a forked tongue.
Yeah, I was gonna let you fix it. I was.
Well, snake tongue is a thing, like you snake tongue devil.
Yeah, I guess it's the same as forked tongue.
So, quote unquote, the homemade explosives and other instruments of mayhem mentioned throughout are rendered as much of a bauble and signifier as one of their luxury cars. Hell, the title of Lockpicks, Knives, Bricks, and Bats might as well be Beamer, Benz, or Bentley.
It might as well not be.
See, what you just did there was you stumbled upon the concept of the album. No, that wasn't an insightful jab at the album. The theme of the album is, these rappers are really materialistic. They all rap about the same things, and they brag, and they make it this big braggadocio personality display. So I'm going to do the same thing, but a little bit ironically, I'm going to switch it. Instead of materialism, I'm going to rap and brag about how anti-materialist I am and how anti-materialist my style is. Wearing last year's trash,
it's an ironic song.
Lashes.
What don't you get?
It's an album. So, that was the point of that song. Lockpicks, Knives, Bricks, and Bats. I guarantee this dude thought of Beamer, Benz, or Bentley, like when he was writing that.
And sadly enough, I have to put out there that is one song I have heard. And other than the catchy hook, Beamer, Benz, or Bentley, Beamer, Benz, or Bentley, Beamer, Benz, or Bentley.
Catchy isn't always a good thing.
Yeah. Do you really want to listen to 4 minutes of that? Honestly? Pitchfork would.
So the final quote from this asshole is, even the abhorrently violent hip-hop coming from Chicago can trigger real discussion as a necessary reflection of its environment. Eat a dick.
I honestly, I stopped listening to this guy.
He's talking about Odd Future. The most real discussion? Dude, there's more real discussion in one P.O.S. verse than there is in every solo and collaborative effort by every member of Odd Future Wolfgang Kill Them All. No fucking way, dude. The only real discussion in those fucking albums is what's the most brutal, disrespectful way to murder a fucking woman. And how many times can you say faggot in a 2-minute span? And can we consider that in and of itself an art form?
Oh, wait, is Odd Future Eminem?
No, it's Tyler the Creator and Earl
he just
Grey
is
sweatshirt
copping Eminem style.
Yeah, early Eminem shock ya shit. Fuck Odd Future.
There, you've heard it. I cannot say this. I've not heard Odd Future, but Nathan said it, and I will take his word for it. Also, it helps that I'm not a huge hip hop fan. I don't know if I said that before, but that is a lot of the reason why I'm not a huge hip hop fan. That is the shit that is flooding the environment.
Yeah, it's pretty lame. Everything's about being super masculine, being a douchebag, being fucking
misogynistic,
better than everyone else, stronger than everyone else, cooler than everyone else, and like I like the whole cool shit, like, you know, and being proud of yourself, and even a bit of the braggadocio shit, but like, yeah, it is pretty just like who can be the biggest fucking scumbag.
Yeah, there is a point in a lot of songs where I'm like, I get it.